Good day, everyone. Everybody's having a wonderful start to your day. Getting closer to our weekend of the first year. And it's about being in the right order. We're going to hop directly into our meditation. Relax. Relax your feet. Legs. Stomach. Every organ. Every tissue, every bone, every cell, every nerve ending. Vibrating at the perfect law of vibration. See it? The purple connecting energy flowing through all things. Through every cell, every nerve ending, every bone, every organ. Every energy center, perfect harmony. Regenerating, rejuvenating. Relax your shoulders, arms, hands, neck, jaw, tongue, eyes, tissue between your eyes and your skull, forehead, crown of your head. See all energy flowing, purple, beautiful energy. You see a purple funnel at the top of your head. See this energy flowing to and through you, circulating your body. What you think of the word love, compassion? Think of love and compassion flowing through the crown of your head. Love, bright, vibrant energy. Through the crown of your head. Touching every area, flowing down through your neck. Flowing through your neck, shoulders. Your torso. Connecting going through every bone, every tissue, every nerve ending, every cell. Rejuvenating, regenerating all through the body, going down through your hips, legs, feet. Let it flow. Feel the energy, understand it. Let it flow. I want you to think of love and compassion for yourself and everyone around you. Love and compassion for the past and everyone around you in the past. And move it to the future. Love and compassion for yourself and everyone around you. Remember, I am not the body, I live in a body. I am the ideas. I am the energy. I color them. Color this energy. It's perpetual. They can be anything. They can solve anything. That has everything. I color it with ideas. So think of prosperity, abundance, prosperity, power, success, for I'm always prosperous. I am prosperity, I am power and success. I work with the vision, and everything I do on purpose to that definite end. Come back. Wins, aha moments. Takeaways. I want everyone to pay very close attention to the surroundings. And when I say that, look to understand the surroundings are a product of the way you think. And look to understand what I need to learn. And if you practice this, you will begin to see the things you may have been missing. Understanding is a process, but we never get understanding until we reach awareness. Understanding is to follow through with the learning that we have to go through. Awareness is being even aware of form and consciousness. And life is truly about awareness and understanding. And then we get to the living intelligence. Life is living intelligence, fulfilling experiences. But if we cannot get to the point of awareness and understanding, life is perpetually the same intelligence, fulfilling experiences. I believe that we're all here on purpose to continually grow in consciousness, and it's truly up to us. The living intelligence, fulfilling experiences is the way 97% of humanity does. They really don't become too much more aware. They don't become too much aware of who they are and what they're capable of doing, and even rearranging the order of things, the chain of events. And so here we get this understanding, and we try to understand. We don't reach awareness. So here we're experiences being fulfilled. I'm going to go backwards in time now. Now we're experiences, life. We're E, experiences, F, fulfilling, the intelligence. And we're living. And then we look towards understanding, and we don't know why. We look to the living side of our nature, and we don't comprehend. And we rarely look to the intelligence that's thinking and living in it. And here we have this cycle, this fulfilling cycle and experience. But we really never get to the higher side of consciousness if we don't reverse engineer reality. If I took this word life and I started off with living intelligence, fulfilling experiences. And if we just take that and we were to open that up in somebody's individual life, you'd see the intelligence living, and breathing. And while it's here, it can become anything it chooses. It can become anything it wants. But a general rule of thumb, it doesn't. It sticks to its intelligence. And because it sticks to its intelligence and it's not ready to grow and evolve and to learn more, it's not aware enough of itself to understand itself. And here we have conflict. And this perpetual way of thinking doesn't change, and it just keeps fulfilling experiences. So when we're going reverse engineer the process, we go to the experience, a fulfilling cycle, and then we go into the intelligence. And if the intelligence never grows, never adapts, doesn't want to grow, does not want to continue to understand, and does not want to become more aware, this is the cycle. This is not just mine, but this is everybody's. If it is not aware enough of itself to want to be more aware, it never gets a better understanding. It never gets a better understanding. And it lives more or less in the same pattern plan. Now, I knew taking on this endeavor we call life that I would have to go through a process, that we would have to go through the process of being more aware. And the reason I went into this teaching and I went research this information and we brought it back is so that we can get a better understanding of who we are and how we can have a better and more fulfilled life. We brought it back to the companies, we brought it back to ourselves, to our lives, so that we could grow and we could experience life more fulfilled. We could experience a higher intelligence. And we knew that there's a lot of people that they don't want to work on themselves. And that's okay and that's fine, but you got to be aware enough that you're all you'll ever be. Because the process of life is intelligence. And if you're not willing and ready to continue to advance your intelligence, to fulfill a new experience, we're stuck. Now, how can we get to this point to where we want a higher intelligence? Why would somebody get to the point of wanting a higher intelligence, to understand that they've got to develop themselves, continue to develop themselves? Well, normally it's through an emotional impact, or it's through a financial gain or a loss. And you've hit rock bottom. They're done being them. They've realized the higher awareness has brought them to the point to where they don't want to go back. And they begin this research. They begin to understand, but somewhere along the line, a lot of times people stop again. And what I want to bring, this is a new year, and really every day is a new year. Every day is the beginning of 365 days. And some of you may be putting on a show. Some of you may be putting on a show. Tricking yourself again. You've been lying to yourself. You're going to change and you're going to do a resolution. I heard that the other day, and I've heard it before. And I really grabbed the word resolve. Resolution means to resolve. Mm-hmm. To resolve something. To identify something that you want to change for a new year, to change, to become something different. And yet, we put these things to resolve, but really never act to them. Why would we really never act to them, hold to them, work towards them? Why would we lie to ourselves year after year? And we even miss the fact that we said, I'm going to do, and then Monday hits, Tuesday hits, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday hits again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the same cycle, perpetual transmutation, happens again. Monday hits again, and then 3 weeks, a month, maybe 2 months down the road, if you got that far. How many days did you do it perpetually? How many days did it miss? How many days did you even last? And you didn't stick to it.
There's a couple things about that, and one is New Year's resolution is it's for the bringing awareness, a reminder of individual that we're goal-seeking organism, and it's just bringing awareness to individuals, and because we're always habitually thinking of pattern, we think about New Year resolution of something that we want because there's no desire behind it. There's no desire of something bigger than our old way of being. Mm-hmm. New resolution doesn't mean anything. New resolution is for individual, not like you said, it doesn't mean anything really, as every day is New Year resolution. It's for individuals that have desire. So for them, it doesn't matter if it's New Year, if it's middle of the year, or if it's end of the year, they're always continuously working toward their goal. I think that's more of bringing awareness to individual that, you have to have a vision, you have to have a goal, and let's change, let's grow, let's become. And people miss it. Yep. And you can't see right now, the other day it happens all the time. Every year around this time, just look at the gym. Mm-hmm. You go to gym, so many cars in the first month or two because people want to lose weight or they want to have a better body. And instead of going and working on the cause, they work on the effect, meaning that they go to the gym for 1 month or two, but because they never change their self-image of who they want to become.
They never change their mind.
They go back to the same way of eating, the same way of doing things. So things will not permanently change because they never worked on the cause.
Mm-hmm. Which was mindset.
Yeah, which is
the mindset was to eat, to walk and talk and behave as it does.
Yeah.
Because that's its intelligence. And if we're not aware of its intelligence, we don't become more aware of what's the cause of all the effects. The body's just a representation of what's going on up there.
Yeah.
And we rarely go to check what's going on up there. And then we want to change what's going on out here. Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
Very. I think best Thomas Trowers said it is everything is first cause substance. Of the causes that you constantly work on, and it's mental work, mm-hmm. that you follow with your action, it's going to create results. And when you understand that concept, you are not result-oriented anymore. You're only working on the cause because through the law of perpetual and transmutation energy, this energy is always perpetuating. Mm-hmm. And when you put your effort to the starting point and the cause, effect will take care of themselves.
Yep.
And it's all mental work. It's all happening in unseen world. And that's why mind is everything. That's why mindset is everything.
Yep. It's the psyche that's causing them to do what they do. Mm-hmm. Psychology. It's the psyche that causes you to live as you live. It's your psyche. It's your intelligence. Mm-hmm. Your mind. Mind is a movement. It's your psyche, your psychology.
When we're talking about psyche, that's really the difference between that somebody aware and somebody, the average individual, is about psyche reward and physical reward. Average individual is continuously looking for physical rewards outside of themselves, but they don't know the key is psyche reward. What does that mean? Psyche reward is when I constantly think about what I want, mm-hmm. I feel good, my vibrations are up, mm-hmm. and I'm continuously working on the first cause substance. And the results, because of I'm having the psyche reward, the physical reward will come with it.
And if somebody's not new, hasn't been listening to us or know this, you would have missed what he said. That the reason he received a psyche award is because he was looking for the psychic award. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people don't understand that. You don't receive what you don't release. Mm-hmm. You will not get what you want, you get what you are. So whatever it is that you're transforming, whatever ideas that you are releasing, that's your gift. And that is by law what you will receive in form. And it's through deep study and deep understanding that you start to begin to put things in the right order. But if you're not aware of these things and you don't know what to look for, you miss it over and over again. Because your intelligence is what's thinking, and your intelligence is what's wrong.
Yeah.
Your intelligence is the gift, it's the resolution, and it's the problem. That's why a man is not what he wants, it's what he is. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. So if we want something different, and if we want to be somebody different, and we want to see something different, the only place that you could go is to go back to the manufacturer of created all the results themselves. It's your intelligence, your hard drive, your level of awareness, your intelligence. Intelligence is the intel, the nucleus of the whole thing. You just keep distributing the wrong ideas, and you're performing them unaware of yourself. You keep releasing and thinking and firing and wiring the wrong ideas. You can never wire something unless you fire it. Neuroplasticity in the mind, you fire it, you've wired it. And the more you continue by perpetual transmutation without energy, you keep firing and wiring the same ideas, you keep springing with the same life, you receive more or less the same effects. And then we go to that word life again. Living intelligence, fulfilling experiences. That's all it does. When we're not aware of the intelligence, life just continues to live intelligently, fulfilling its experiences. And if we're not aware, we go through 0 to 10 years, 10 to 20 years. And we're still not aware, 20 to 30. We're still not aware, 40 to 50. We're still not aware, 50 to 60, 70 to 80, 90 to 100. And then we never realized that it was in ourselves, because you were never willing to look inside. In every religion, every part of the world, everybody has agreed on one thing: man is mind. All religions, all psychiatrists, all therapists, all people around the world have agreed on one thing: you got to go inside. Why? You're the great distributor of consciousness. And that's why everybody is a center. When I say a centers, we're all the product of our intelligence. You know, you're not in my home right now. You're in your home. You're in your habitat. Habitat of which you are the center. Therefore, everything you can touch and experience came from you, your intelligence. And you think it's out there. You think the problem's out there. We think that the circumstances are the problem. But the circumstances are just reciprocating your intelligence. So we want a better order, we want a better life. There's only one place that you could go, and that's to go inside. You've got to be aware. First thing was aware. Awareness is the key to growth. It's not about being super intelligent. We find people that are super intelligent that don't earn money. We find people that are super intelligent that don't have great relationships. We find people that are super intelligent that don't live the life they desire. We find strong people that are broke as well. So it wasn't the strongest, and it wasn't the smartest. And we've seen people that are overweight and underweight. So when we start to break down success, prosperity, a more fulfilled, a more abundant life, we begin to see that it wasn't none of the outside things, but there was one defining factor in all of them. It was the way they think. It was the way they think. Now, we want to get a better awareness of the way we're thinking, and that goes back to awareness. Now, the second part is going to be understanding. If we're not willing to understand, we don't understand the feedback between mind and matter. Understanding is understanding the feedback between our minds and matter, form as we see it. The feedback is what truly tells us and intuitively guides us on what to do next. But we never get into the intuitive part until we do what? Until what happens? Your intuition doesn't snap in or kick in a different way because you weren't using it intelligently in a different way. Intelligence is going to resend back what you're thinking about. When you release an idea, you get a reciprocating action. You get ideas from there. The only time you get intuition to go in a different direction is whenever you desire to go in a different direction. So here we have the intuition. It works for you all the time according to your desires, good or bad, positive or negative, right or wrong. This is why I said living intelligence, fulfilling experiences. It's working. You're just not aware of what to choose. It's working. You just really haven't defined what you want. It's working. Your subconscious normally is what's working. Not really what you want. It's your programs. And those programs is what has you stuck. We had Ray yesterday at the end. He ended up writing a comment. Aspire to want something very much or hope to achieve something or to be successful. We will be bound by both perceived chains holding you down or wings lifting you higher. Awareness of either is required. An observation of our internal reflection. I'm going to read that again. To aspire, to want to be more, to desire to be more. Now we aspire. Why is it that so few people truly aspire? When did we stop aspiring? When did the individual stop aspiring? And yesterday I was giving the illustration that children want because they don't understand lack yet. And we go back and we look at the baby and we say, it's so perfect, and we're kissing the baby and it's so beautiful, it's so perfect, it's so pure. And you hear people say it because they intuitively pick it up. That child is so perfect, it's so pure, it's so beautiful. Just look at it and they admire it and they lift it up. Somewhere along the line, the child begins to take on the environment's ideas. And the purity and the perfection begins to lose its way, and it begins to take a different type of intelligence. Look at this. It begins to take on a different type of intelligence, and intelligence is all we have. So as the child begins to adapt and take on and reason, as they do, because that's the only thing that it can do. The child can do only, you, me, everyone around you, your grandfather, your grandmother, and everyone before them, did all they could do when they arrived. They began to think as they think, because that was their environment. They begin to walk and talk as they do, act as they do. And somewhere in there, the aspiration and inspiration is alive because that's what it was meant to do. But yet it took on this intelligence. Now, it begins to ask and say, I want this and I want that, and why can't we have this and why can't we have that? It sees it sees the lack in them because it doesn't understand lack yet. It sees the lack in the environment because it doesn't understand that yet. And then through programming, the program and the environment, it begins to understand it because it first became aware and said, wait a minute, there's something wrong. There's not enough here, or there's lack here, or these people act in a certain way. Its awareness could do the only thing that it could do is absorb the information. The problem is that we take it in and we take it on as our own. And that becomes our intelligence. And then we begin to understand lack and limitation. And without knowing it, it becomes one with us. Now, I went back to a higher consciousness. You don't break out of it until you can become more aware that there is a higher consciousness. How can you break out of a prison you don't even know you're in? You never become aware unless there's a higher consciousness making it aware of itself, from itself to itself, to say, wait a minute. I'm thinking. Wait a minute. Something's thinking. Wait a minute. Those are not my ideas that were given to me. Wait a minute. And it begins to observe its own intelligence. Yeah. That's the only way.
I'm not my thoughts, I create my thoughts.
Or I was given my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I said, when is it that they stopped aspiring? Go back to your life. What age were you? Doesn't matter where you're at. Doesn't matter if you listen to this later on. Because this is the same, whether it's this year, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, or maybe 2,600 years into the future. Your mind, my mind, are much the same. Whatever you took on, what ideas you took it on as your own, it's what you use to work in the field, to work in the plane. When I said work in the field, I meant the unseen world. And then you act it out in the plane, in the physical. Everything works from the upside down. Now, what age were you when you stopped believing in you? What age were you when you stopped believing that everything was possible? What age were you when you understood lack and limitation? What age were you when you stopped aspiring to be more? Ray says, aspire to want something very much or hope to achieve something to be successful. To be successful. How do you know what success is if you haven't seen it? That's a pretty powerful statement. How do you know what success is if you haven't seen it? So here's this intelligence. It does as they do. How does it understand something it's not aware of? We will be bound by both perceived chains holding you down or wings lifting you higher. But here was the key. Awareness of either is required. An observation of our internal reflection. Well done, Ray. An awareness. You got to be aware of either one. Something lifting you up, something pulling you down. But we don't get there unless we're looking for it. Awareness. And then here's the other part. You don't get to the next level if you're not willing to understand. One is being aware. The other part is understanding. How many people have you worked with that they became aware and they started to want to look at this information, but they're not willing to understand? Mm-hmm. Understanding was what? Doing part.
Yeah. Taking action.
And what they don't understand is the mind will quickly and automatically reject the idea of doing the thing it doesn't want to learn.
And really, I was actually talking to somebody yesterday about taking action, right? A lot of times we understand, we practice this, we hear this information, but we never really take action. Why we don't take action? Because we don't think it's the right time. We don't think that we don't see ourselves be able to pull this off Why? Because we think everything has to be perfectly as what we thought before we take action. But what they're missing is we have a lot of human error, right? And the way we're going to fix those and overcome those is by taking action. So let's go back when I started my business. If I was going to start a business, I wouldn't know what accounting is. I wouldn't know what how to get a contract. I didn't know how to. Everything I learned in the business was things that I thought I knew or I thought I'm going to learn, but until I didn't go and do it, I never learned it. So the important part of taking action is when you start taking action, you start overcoming those human error that you have and you start perfecting yourself. People don't understand that because they don't understand that. They just want the result. They don't want to go through that process and learn and perfect themselves and create cells of recognition.
The process was the growth.
Yeah.
They're wanting the end. They want the result, but
they don't want to pay the price.
And the price was the process.
Yeah.
The creative process in the individual. Mm-hmm. They're missing the growth of the transitional period to become who they wanted to be. That's why they can never receive what they wanted to see, because they're not willing to see the transition of unlearning their intelligence and relearning their intelligence to what? To live a different intelligence, fulfilling experiences. They missed it. Life, live in intelligence. Fulfilling experiences is what everybody does. But they're not willing to go back and unlearn and relearn. And they're not willing to get the feedback. But that's where you grow. This is where we shake things up. And this is when you learn more about yourself you didn't know before. But this is where you release the perfection from within. And you annihilate, you dissolve the beliefs that were holding you back in the first place. And that was the growth that you and I and everyone else has to go through. Doesn't matter what year you're in, whether this is the past, whether this is the future, whether you're in the past, whether you're in the future. It doesn't matter because it's all the same. Growth is a process. And if we're not willing to get the feedback between my mind and matter, if we're not willing to get the feedback and go do the thing you don't know how to do, you're not going to relearn. You're not resetting the intelligence that's giving you everything you've got right now. You're not growing and expanding the intelligence that is taking you as far as you are today. Right? Human intelligence, Hugh. Man is measurement. Hugh was a higher consciousness that can deviate it. Man, primal man, lower consciousness, the lowest consciousness of man is primal urge. And the higher we go in awareness, the higher you go to a Hugh, a higher consciousness. And the higher we go in Hugh, the more we begin to be able to bring the intangible into the tangible. The more aware we become, it's like open up keys and doors. You don't get to the highest key until you go to the process. But you've got to leave the lowest side of your nature. And we do that through developing yourself. The individual that is selling peanuts on the corner block is still expressing divine work. He is still expressing intelligence, just at a lower state. It's just at a lower state. Why is this so important? Why is this information so important? Why do we teach this every day? We're teaching this every day because we know it helps people, but we're also teaching this every day because we know if we keep repeating it over and over and over again, we know that our awareness is going to shift. And it's through the constant space repetition that we finally shift. It's through the constant space repetition that we become more aware of ourselves. It's not solely the repetition of a new idea to penetrate the subconscious mind. It's a repetition so that you become more aware of the things that you're doing that you're not even aware of.
To answer that question, why we're working on ourselves every day is because humans are state, and you're working on that state. That state is information. And when you keep repeating this information, that becomes it becomes home, and it becomes a state. And humans our reality is demonstration of that state. So we work on that state, we work on our results, we work on our life, we work on becoming more aware because we want to live the life by design. We're the only form of life, as far as we know, on the planet that can create their own environment. That's why.
I'm going to play about 5-10 minutes, a little bit of Bob's teaching. And we're going to go back to the study. If you guys would take notes. And this is about leaving the comfort zone.
Briggs is talking about that here. He said, many of us have established a comfort zone in our lives. He said, we're just coasting along, taking the line of least resistance, just getting by. This is a very common and understandable attitude. We've all worked hard to get to where we are, and it may seem like a very good place to be. The problem with this is that once we stop reaching, stretching, seeking, and risking, we actually stop growing. Ray goes on to say, the comfort zone frame of mind is settling for what we are today. That may be fine today, but without continued growth, and I believe this is the key to line coming up, we're now all we're ever going to be. Now think of that. You're all you're ever going to be. Man, that's disturbing. Now for me, that would be a fairly disturbing thought. He went on to say, if you're in a comfort zone, beware. The danger of a comfort zone is that it doesn't hurt. It may even feel good. Many take that to mean it's a good place to be, but it is not. A comfort zone may be what is holding you back from real growth, real accomplishment, and your potentially exciting and rewarding future. Now, I've mentioned if you're not going in one direction, you must by law be going in another direction. You're either creating or you're disintegrating. Whenever we hear a person say, I like it just the way it is, we know that person is advertising their ignorance of a very basic law of life, because absolutely nothing stays where it is. And your potentially exciting and rewarding future. Now, I've mentioned if you're not going in one direction, you must by law be going in another direction. You're either creating or you're disintegrating. Whenever we hear a person say, I like it just the way it is, we know that person is advertising their ignorance of a very basic law of life, because absolutely nothing stays where it is. Well, that's so true. Now, we were studying
Ray here put, you accept someone's definition of it. That's what we do. You revert to your previous conditioned mindset that others impart to you from their limitations. It's important because you will never rise above your environment if you feel it's assigned to you. if you feel there is no choice but to accept the word grind, or the word hustle, till one day the next level unlocks, versus observing yourself, accepting preconceived notions of a limited mindset. We grow by choice. That's what we have. We're the only ones that can choose to not grow anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're the only ones. They can decide not to grow anymore. You put a seed in the ground, it'll go as far as it can go. It gives all it's got. Everything in nature gives all it's got. Its completeness gives it full. Well, we're the only ones that can choose to stop growing. Interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ability to choose choice. Choice. We're at our time. Thoughts, takeaways?
I think it's good that you have to be aware of your surroundings, because I've been looking at it and it's right on plan, perfect timing, and you'll continually be in the same cycle until you start thinking differently, acting differently, dressing differently, and breaking that old cycle, letting that old belief go. And for a lot of us, it's who we are. So it's hard to let go because they don't know how to find the new avatar, a new image, because we're not conditioned to. But the more you practice it, the more you go into the imagination, the more you'll see that that you can accomplish anything.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's in beliefs.
one of our functions of subconscious mind is to hold that belonging. Your beliefs it's belonging. And when it's belonging, you need to let go of that belonging. It feels like it's dying. Feel like it's death to it.
Air,
Yeah.
space,
And we have a hard time letting go.
belonging or becoming.
Everything we have we think it's ours, and it's our belonging. Those beliefs, even, it's so hidden in this. They're so tethered with our thoughts that when we're thinking about letting go of things that doesn't serve us, it's painful because it's our belonging. It's something that belongs to us. Me. Yeah. And it's hard to let go because our instincts is
to grab.
Yeah, to grab and to hold on to, to keep as long as we can. Our function is not to let go. Yep. And when you do start letting go, you're opening space for something new to come. And it's really a choice what we want to belong to us.
Yeah. Or we want to give. Mm-hmm. Instead of belonging, what we want to give and share. Choice. Choice. We're at our time. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'd like to put this on live and share it. It's a really good video, and it had a lot of good tokens, a lot of good information, and it's going to help a lot of people. That's what we're here for. Mm-hmm. Zach, take us away. We're going to go into our meditation. Meditation, to go inside. Why? To understand the intelligence. To understand thyself. To understand the movement and the ideas that are pulsating. Relax your feet. Legs. Stomach. Relax every muscle. Release all tension. Let everything just flow. Feel the energy. Feel the intelligence. Relax every organ. Every cell, every tissue, every bone, every organ vibrating at the perfect law of vibration. Every energy center vibrating perfect law. Perfect harmony. Relax your shoulders, arms, hands, neck, jaw, tongue, eyes, tissue between the eyes, and your skull, forehead, crown of your head. Everything relaxed. No tension. Fine. Remember, don't say am hand and foot. I have a hand. I have a foot. I live in a body. I don't have a soul, I am the soul. Understand the feeling and the energy that's flowing through you. That is who you are. Think of love. Think of love, prosperity. Feel it. Feel the energy flowing. Send love and prosperity to everyone around you. Feel the energy releasing love and prosperity to everyone. Bring their faces to the screen of your mind. Send love. Feel the energy flowing through and through you. You can feel it. Everyone around you, to yourself and everyone around you. Yourself from the past, passion, love, prosperity, to the future. Bring your visions to the now, your desires to the now. Fill it with love, compassion, prosperity. What are you doing? What are you giving? How do you give to the world? Welcome back. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you as well.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Go on.
Thank you.